Creepypastas are ghost stories that have spawned from the twisted collective imagination of the internet. If you've ever tumbled down a YouTube or Reddit hole at 2 AM, you'll know just how scary they can be. Some of the biggest games and many cult hits have taken influence from this creepy side of the internet. Slender Man, Jeff the Killer and Lavender Town all have their roots in creepypastas. For those of you who want to delve into some of the weirdest, strangest and darkest games you can play, these are the creepypastas for you. Yes, we've crawled around some of the internet's spookiest haunts to bring you this video, probably shedding years off our life expectancy in the process.
From Herobrine to Pokemon Lost Silver, haunted video games are probably the most popular form of creepypasta. You might think it difficult to convert stories about haunted games into a game itself, but Stories Untold's first episode proves otherwise. It takes the creatures that lurk in the back of your cartridges and puts them into your computer instead. In episode 1, you're trying to play the text adventure The House Abandoned, but something is immediately amiss. Cleverly having you play a game within a game, developer NoCode has both of the game's layers intertwine, with the text adventure affecting both the House Abandoned and the room your character sits in while playing it. And if you think that level of detachment would diminish the horror factor, well, you would be dead wrong.
Slender Man is perhaps the most famous urban legend created on the internet. The monster's infamy has been supported not only by games, but by Hollywood film too. The best of those games, Slender, has you track down 8 pages in a creepy forest, hunted by the faceless man that may or may not have tentacles. It's a simple game that relies heavily on jump scares, but don't run away yet. It pulls off those scares so well that it never gets predictable, and you'll want to keep playing until you've seen the game's end. Slender Man has been the star of hundreds of creepypastas, urban legends, YouTube videos, and depressing news articles. His popularity might be fading now, but he's left a lasting impression on pop culture, horror games, and the creepypasta community. And this game is his peak moment.
Control is the next game from the minds at Remedy Entertainment, the creators of Alan Wake and Quantum Break. Inspired by the SCP database, Control has you explore a facility designed to house the unknowable, the inexplicable, and the dangerous. The SCP is an online record of the fictional organisation of the same name, which catalogues and contains mysterious and deadly objects. Each entry is written like a military record, filled with redacted secrets and hints about some seriously strange happenings. You can see similar touches through the oldest house in Control. Its promised fragments of creepy stories are scattered throughout the environments to be discovered and dealt with.
Polybius is an urban legend that might be older than the internet itself. Some say it was a game that existed in arcades across America in the 80s that caused headaches, seizures, and memory loss. Each cabinet was monitored closely by the Men in Black or another shady government agency before mysteriously disappearing. After decades of rumours and creepypastas, a version of the game was released in 2017. It's an attempt to emulate the various, often contradictory rumours about the legendary original, except without the brainwashing or men in dark glasses. Polybius, the one that actually exists that is instead meant to trigger happy feelings in the player, not seizures.
Back in our youths, everybody knew someone who supposedly had an uncle that worked for Nintendo. Whether they knew the secrets about getting a Mew or how to unlock Sonic in Super Smash Melee, there was a child in every school that knew all the impossible secrets about Nintendo's latest releases thanks to a mysterious relative. These tricksters have taken on a new life online, with the stories swapping from harmless white lies to something more sinister, a predatory video game. The uncle who works for Nintendo takes some of these stories and weaves them together into a creepy text adventure. It must be played a few times to be completed. The story is initially played straight, teleporting you back to an exchange on the playground, but something feels a little bit off. It's then that you're invited to explore that peculiarity, or to call your mum and leave the sleepover early. We know which one we'd opt for.
The Midnight Game is directly pulled from the creepypasta of the same name, which is less a story than it is a list of instructions. A spooky list of instructions. Apparently based on an ancient pagan ritual for the damned, both the creepypasta and the game revolve around completing said ritual to invite the Midnight Man into your house, which is obviously a really bad idea. Structurally, it plays a lot like Slender, but with a few notable changes, like removing the collectibles and swapping the creepy forest for a creepy house. Why exactly you're trying to summon a creature that overtly wants to drive you insane and kill you is another question entirely. Probably says a lot about you, really.
Being trapped in a video game is nothing new on the internet. But while most immersive games are designed to be fun, Pony Island was literally created by Lucifer. Well, alright, that's what it tells you at least. There are so many creepypastas themed about getting trapped in a game, but none come close to matching the quality of Tron or Jumanji. Pony Island takes the effort in its own direction, building upon the creepier side of video game entrapment with a torturous arcade cabinet, which falls apart as you play it. As you try to fix it, you're exposed to the satanic coding that holds this unpleasant purgatory together. It might be best to look for a way to escape rather than appease the demon whispering in your ear.
Creepypastas and ghost stories share a love for corrupting the innocent, and there's nothing more innocent than animatronic dolls, right? Except these ones have terrified children at a pizza parlor for decades. Five Nights at Freddy's has you play a security guard doing the night shift at said pizza parlor. Already you're getting that uncomfortable feeling of being alone in a place that's been built for crowds. A complex lore has evolved over the first game and its many sequels, but the central concept has stayed the same. Avoid getting killed by killer animatronics. The series may well have been inspired by the countless creepypastas surrounding certain American restaurant franchises, but since its popularity, it's become the inspiration for a load more creepypastas.
And those are the creepiest pastas you'll find in video game form. Naturally, watching this video has invited all sorts of demonic entities into your computer, but we do have a solution. For a full digital exorcism, simply click the like button, and for long-term spiritual healing, please hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all very, very soon.